Howdy. It's Cloudy, go back to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Today, we got another Marvel video, you know what I'm saying? We got a video from Everything Always. Avengers Doomsday First Cut. Now, when I first saw this title, I believe it said like Avengers Doomsday First 7 hours or something like that, you know what I'm saying? So expect it to be some details on what's in the movie, you know what I'm saying?
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka All Fires. Now, the Russos have already promised that Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars are going to be two of Marvel's longest movies ever. In fact, they even went as far as to offer rough estimates for the runtimes for each film. They've said that Avengers Doomsday is going to be about 2.5 hours long, and that Avengers Secret Wars will actually be closer to 3. And again, with Marvel's
Cap, I think this is gonna be about a 4 to 5 hour movie. No lie, bro. Have y'all been seeing my videos, bro? All the stuff they've been talking about putting into these movies, bro. I don't think this is all gonna fit in 2 hours, bro. Or what if we really do, though? You know what I'm saying? 2 hours, I guess, is a long time when you think about it, you know, when you film it and everything. It's a pretty long ass time, you know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff can't happen in 2 hours in a movie. But the stuff that they talking about itself, like if it was in real time, you know, it'll be about a cool little 8 to 9 hours. If I'm being real, it'll be like the Jackson 5 movie, bro. Y'all remember how long that movie was? About 4 to 5 hours long. That's what I'm expecting from these Avengers movies. And I'm okay with that.
Normal window of 2 hours or 2 hours and 5 minutes. They only really allow you to go over that if it's a special movie. In this case, both apply. But this latest rumor that's making the rounds indicates that the Russos may have shot more than just a little extra film. They shot an insane amount of film, reportedly up to 7 hours, and this just for Avengers Doomsday. And the details that follow about...
You know they cutting that down, bro. You know they cutting that. That's why they said, bro, if they cutting a 7 hour to 2 hour, bro, that's a lot. That's what I'm saying, bro. I don't think this is gonna be a 2 hour movie, bro. If they have 7 hours of footage and they push it all the way down to 2, bro, I guarantee you they probably deleted like 80% of the most important scenes, bro. That's probably why it's taking so long, because they recording a lot of important scenes, like you know. And that's what I'm saying, bro. Just make it a 7 hour movie, bro. Make a part 2.
What the first cut will look like and what's going on with the post-production, it's absolutely nuts. We're going to break down this latest report, what it says, what we know is already happening early next year, and what it means for the final cut of Avengers Doomsday. Man, it is insane. We're breaking it all down, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel. Thanks to everyone who's been subbing lately and helped grow the channel. Again, it's just like the old days. If you haven't already, if you enjoy this kind of content, the best way to support us is by hitting the sub button. Plus, it'll enter you for the giveaways. Be a sub, leave a comment, stick around at the end of the video. We get to all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so first off, the normal spoiler warning as it pertains to this kind of content. Not that it's a spoiler, pretty much the opposite, guys. As I've mentioned here real recently, especially with the Marvel Scoop game, with the number of new social media accounts that are out there originating scoops, sometimes it is impossible to attribute things.
Bro, the AI and stuff, bro, is dangerous, dog. Cause I'm telling you, it's a lot of AI scenes out there. Like they made one for Captain America Brave New World. All right, they made I believe it was AI, bro. It kind of looked like a deleted scene, though. I'm not gonna lie, but it was about Sam Wilson being mad at the fact that the Thunderbolts was named the new Avengers. He was like watching the news or something like that. I'm thinking it's real, and a lot of people in the comments was saying it was AI, bro, and I can't tell the difference. That's bad, bro. You know why it's bad? Because somebody could probably make an entire Avengers Doomsday movie AI, bro, if they figure out how to make, you know, a 2 hour, you know, long AI movie. They'll probably do it, bro, before Marvel even dropped a movie. And what if it end up being better?
Plus, it comes from one of the known outlets, the known scoopers, and we can just go directly to their post. In this case, I was not able to find who originally reported this, but it's been making its rounds on social media. Several of you had already DM'd me this morning, and this is what the report and rumor is saying.
The AI movie is going to be produced by one person, directed by one person, and the entire cast is one person.
Take
That's
it
how
with a grain
crazy
of
it's
salt,
gonna be,
but
bro.
it is now being reported that the Russo brothers have over 7 hours of footage for Avengers Doomsday, and that they're going to have the
7 hours.
first cut ready by December, but that this
How many
first cut
hours
will
is
be
those?
long from the final cut
Funny.
because the movie will not be complete when it's done, and that they're expected to pick up for Secret Wars in early 2026. Now, there's actually quite a few things to
Wait, what are you
expect
saying?
it to be long from the final cut because the movie will not be complete when it's done, and that they're expected to pick up for Secret Wars in early 2026.
Okay, I see
Now,
what
there's
you're saying.
actually quite a few things to unpack in here, and it's important to note that, like, look, for any TV show or movie,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's dope that two brothers became like some of the biggest powerhouses when it came. You know, I think that's dope, bro. Imagine you and your brother or something. Y'all both get rich in the same exact field, bro, and y'all get to work on stuff together, bro. Like that's fire,
they're always
bro.
going to shoot way more
That's
than
like a
they
dream
need.
come
But
true for a
having
lot of
7
people.
hours of a cut, basically how it's being described here, isn't just 7 hours of
7
film
hours.
total. It sounds like they've got 7 hours worth of a movie that they've got to cut down. And Marvel Studios has been emphatic
Bro,
about there being no
why
such
they
thing
cutting down
as
to
a
7 to
director's
2
cut.
though? That's
What you get in
crazy.
the theater, the final theatrical cut, always stands as the final version of the film. And thank God, because with the way Marvel theories work in the fandom, could you imagine trying to argue in the YouTube comments about the semantics of, is it the director's cut, is it the theatrical cut, which one is actual canon? So I think it's best
So are
that
they
do
gonna
that.
get rid of that, bro? Because I ain't gonna lie, bro. Back then, bro, when when people used to buy movies like the CDs and stuff, there used to be like extended cuts, director cuts, like CDs in that case, and I never really watched it, because I was just like, I don't understand what this means. I was a kid at the time though, but now that I'm older, I understand it now. Now I'm like, damn, I wish I watched the director's cut or the extended cut, bro. Probably would have got more of the movies I was watching. You feel me? But are they saying they trying to get rid of that now, so it's not, so people don't have to look for the extra scenes and stuff like that? Like they basically like everything is gonna be here. You ain't gotta search for nothing else.
What you get is the
That's
final
actually
version.
good, though,
that being said, if it's true they have
feel like
7
that was
hours of
stupid, I ain't
takes,
gonna lie,
that means a
bro.
lot.
I used to be so confused. Bro, y'all can't tell me y'all used to open up them little CD cases, bro, and see 3 different versions of the same movie, bro.
It's never
I
going
used
to
to
see
be
the
like,
light of
bro,
day. And of course it's true
hey, there's a
for
part
every
2 and
TV
3
show
to this
and
shit.
every movie ever. They shoot more than they need. But keep in mind, with the price of a production like this, they're literally spending thousands by the minute. You don't generally just play around and shoot a bunch of stuff off the cuff because it's really expensive. So if they've truly shot
Yeah.
this much content for this movie, that
That's what I'm
tells
saying,
me they had a
bro.
lot of different
Are they really gonna
ideas.
cut a
They're
lot
going
of
to
that
put them
out?
together now and go for this first cut. But that's where
7
part
to
of this
2?
quote-unquote rumor gets extremely believable. Of course it will not be the final cut when they've got the first cut in December. That'll
think it's
just
gonna
be
be
their
4,
working
bro.
point to know exactly what they need to inform them on what to do with all of the reshoots. And I even pause to call them that because, as several industry insiders like Jeff Snyder have indicated, Daniel RPK has corroborated this, the movie's nowhere near done. You can say that the first round of principal photography is done, but these reshoots have
still
always
gotta
been
edit and
planned.
everything,
It's basically another round of principal
reshoot,
photography,
like
and
you
I
said.
think
they might
getting
have new ideas.
Hi everyone,
That's what I'm
Jeremy
telling y'all,
White
get in the
here.
comments, bro. They might
Tickets
see
are
y'all.
officially on sale.
getting that first cut done in December, at least for their own sake, is going to let them know exactly what they need to shoot in the reshoots to make the final cut of the film. So they have their work cut out for them, pun totally.
What if they decide to use trailers? Like, I mean, if they drop trailers that could like tell people a little bit too much to move. But I'm just saying, like, what if they decide to drop little teasers and stuff like that on Instagram, like photos and stuff like that, just to see what people start saying in the comments and let them know, like, we might as well keep this in the movie, or maybe we should take it out, or maybe we should add this to it, or take this out of it. Like, what if they start doing that throughout the year, bro? And I honestly feel like that would be a smart move because the fans will be involved. So whatever movie y'all make, fans will be a little bit more biased to like it because they know some of the stuff that, they said or consider or whatever the case is in the movie. So they gonna like it more.
Intended.
I
And
think
then
they
the
should
last
do that.
part of
Do
this
little
report,
teaser pictures and, see what happens. Hold on, gotta switch. Headphones down.
really trying to pick up with Secret Wars in the springtime of 2026, that does not give them the rest of the year to work on the movie. And I think there were some of us who've been talking about this, myself included, who thought that
think
they
they gonna
might
push
work
the
on
movie back
Doomsday
again?
a lot later into the year because they have all year before the release date in December before they got into Secret Wars. But apparently they know Secret Wars is going to take even more time and they want to start getting that shot now. What this all tells me, though,
They
is that
probably working
whatever
on
was
both
left
at
in
the
the
same
script
time.
that needed to be cracked,
Especially
whatever
because all the actors are there right now, bro, who's to say they not working on like 4 or 5 movies at once, bro? Just because they got all the actors there, all these actors are at a good age and they ain't got nothing going on right now, you know, apart from Marvel movies, and they ain't got no other movies and stuff going on right now, maybe. So maybe they taking this opportunity to film everything right now because all the actors are here.
Parts of the story that were important for the details to sort of checkpoint them to go forward in Secret Wars, they've probably gotten past that point now. So where a lot of these plot leaks have fallen short and basically only given us maybe the first act and a half, and that was always believable because we know the end of the movie wasn't written yet, I would say at this point they've pretty much got everything mapped out. So next round of principal photography, basically right after the first of the year, and then they're obviously going to be working on the CGI, even though they may have a final cut, say, in the mid-summer sometime. They'll still be working on that CGI, and I guarantee you up to like 2 weeks before the release. There's just going to be so many frames for them to go over and work on, and I really hope at this point Marvel Studios' movie by committee ends up serving them instead of hindering them, because if they've got a good story and they've got it locked in, man, the less voices, the better. The less cooks in the kitchen, the better. And Michael Waldron actually just clarified this about being on Kang Dynasty and being on Secret Wars originally as a writer and then leaving. He basically just explained it as, hey, I was working on these projects. I got pretty far. I gave Steve McFeely...
Ain't no lie, bro, because I ain't gonna lie, having help on the story could work, but having too much, you know, too many people putting in they 2 cents could mess things up, you know. So having less people could work, you feel me?
The Russos, what I got when they came on board to do Avengers 5 and Avengers 6, I left and let them be and do their thing, and now they've brought me back into the room to help, and he basically said, look, I'm not really rewriting anything, I'm just there to support them, and as we've said in the past, Michael Waldron's the most important guy to have in the room. He crafted the Loki stuff, he's worked on a lot of the multiverse lingo, he basically is the architect of what we've seen on screen, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This is the guy they need in the room to sort of keep that continuity going, but it's not a case of, we need another writer, we need someone to work on scenes. It's really just the brain trust at Marvel making sure they keep the continuity there. Either way, guys, I am all for movies being long, but I think as we've seen over the last 3 or 4 years, audiences don't want a long movie just for the sake of it. There are some movies like Oppenheimer that may call for it, that may have earned it, so to speak.
But see, look, I think Avengers Doomsday, though, and Avengers Secret Wars could be long, though. I feel like these 2 movies are the movies where Marvel could make it more than 3 hours and fans will understand, especially because Dr. Doom is being debuted in Avengers Doomsday, and then we got a whole different story. Like, we got things to explain, bro. All going from 7 to 2 to 3, bro. That's a lot of story being cut out that a lot of people most likely want, you know. But that's why I said they should probably drop little teasers and stuff like that on Instagram just to kind of see what people feel, you know. It might work, but in the Russo brothers and M-Dub, we trust.